My name is Father Jonathan Meyer. I'm the pastor of All Saints Parish, and I just want to talk today about the importance of young people in the church and the role of youth and young adult ministry in your parish or the community that you might be a part of. On the day of my ordination, my first assignment was to be the director of youth and young adult ministry. I was 25 years old. I had no idea. I'd never really actually been a part of a youth group. It's really kind of a crazy way that I got put into this position. But I remember my Archbishop looked at me and he said, "Father Meyer, never underestimate the powers and the ability of young people." And that quote has stuck with me my whole entire life. Our young people have so much possibility. They're filled with so much grace, so much wisdom, and yet they're often not included into the life of the church, and they really need to be, now more than ever. So I want to encourage you to look at your parish and to say, okay, where is youth ministry thriving? Where is it not? Where is young adult ministry thriving? And where is it not? And to never give up. As a director of youth ministry, I will tell you that often what you see in parishes is that a youth minister is hired, the responsibility of youth ministry is put on this one individual. They then go through a quick cycle of excitement, fervor, connection, but then they quickly fizzle, and then they quickly either lose their job or they walk away from the job and move on to another ministry. I want to possibly give you just another way to look at this. The key to any ministry is about engagement and about relationship. That's what it's about. Jesus didn't say, hey, go hire a youth minister. I'm not saying don't hire a youth minister. Jesus said, go make disciples. That happens through relationship, and relationships happen through engagement. Many of you might be saying, well, my parish is really small, or we don't have the finances to do this. I want to just ask a question, like a very basic question. I'm going to use this kind of like as a little bit of a microcosm. Do you have an altar server program at your parish? If you do, you have a youth group. An altar server program is a youth group. The question is, are they being utilized to not just perform a function, but are those young people who come together to serve at the altar of the Lord also being given catechesis, prayer, community, and taught that their service at the altar of the Lord should be transformed into the way that they live their lives and the way that they serve others. So if we just look at that basic model, like it's all right there. Maybe in your parish you don't need to recreate something. You don't need to spend a lot of time making something happen. It's there. The question is, what adult, what leader believes enough in the hope and the future and the beauty of young people that they're willing to do that? It's terribly important. Our young people need adults. In my parish, I serve as the youth minister, and I have other adults that help make the programs happen, and it's a model that works for us. But I will tell you as well, no matter how old you are or where you're at in life's journey, like God wants you to work with young people. We have found again and again that it's great when we have directly out of college young adults or even individuals that are in college that come back and do ministry with us. But our teens and our young adults thrive when people who are in their 70s help out our youth ministry programs. They have wisdom, they have joy. And your words of encouragement to these young people are game changers. I'm not sold on the fact that a youth minister has to be young and hip. It's great if they are. But a well-seasoned individual who knows life and who can listen, who can teach, direct, and guide is sometimes the greatest asset that most youth ministry programs are missing. I also want to make it very clear, to have successful youth ministry programs, culture has to change. Culture, as Roman Catholics for the most part, doesn't emphasize youth ministry. It emphasizes Catholic education. That's become our norm. So the number one changer in culture is parents. You can spend a lot of time trying to get young people to show up to events. They aren't going to come. The conviction has to be in the heart of the parent who gets the kid there. The parent gets the kid to the youth ministry program. If you want enlivened kids, you need to have enlivened parents. And parents that are convicted that the world is selling their children a lie, and these young people need each other. They need joy. They need catechesis. They need community. They need service. They need the ability to live their lives as God desires them to. So a huge investment is actually in parents. And the more you invest in the parents will bring the kids, and then the kids will ultimately, eventually then bring their friends. But it really does start often with the parents, and to find those parents, to mold those parents. And a lot of times those parents don't even know that youth ministry really should be a part of their child's life because it wasn't a part of their life. And parents most often just do what they have done in their own life. And so they need to be helped and guided to see youth ministry as really like an quintessential part of the way that we raise young people in the church today. And then lastly, I just want to throw in three things that are absolutely instrumental for a really good youth ministry program. And it's not pizza. It's not great music. It's not the youth minister with the 5 o'clock shadow or the really hip tattoos or piercing. Three things: retreats, small groups, and mission trips. Retreats, small groups, and mission trips. I don't care if these are retreats that you put on yourself or retreats that your diocese offers. Retreats are where young people have encounters with Jesus. And these opportunities outside of their norm change them. Small groups. Young people need to be in relationship. They need to feel a part of something, particularly in a world which is pushing them farther and farther away from each other. They need to be a part of something great. And that happens in a small group. The small groups can happen on Zoom. They can happen through the mass media, but they need to happen. Lastly, mission trips. Get your young people with their hands out. Get your young people. The model of our mission trips that we take as a parish are: we go to adoration at night, we receive Jesus in the Eucharist at Mass, and we go out and we strive to be Jesus throughout the day. We then bring the names of the people that we serve, the names of the individuals that we help, and we then bring them back to Jesus in the Eucharist that night. Very Eucharistic centered, but very, very much so centered on the fact that young people make a difference, that young people really do change lives. Never underestimate the power of young people. Archbishop Daniel B. Klein gave me those words, and those words are words that all of us need to hear. No matter your age, no matter your state, God wants you to mentor and discipleship a young person. Parents are key. Retreats, small groups, and mission trips. It's unbelievable. For a bonus, I'd like to talk real quick about a program that we ran for our young people, which is very simple and very possible for every single one of you. Our young people are being bombarded with a lot of lies. We know this. We ran a program. It was actually an 8-week program in our parish, and we called it Truth. Had a little booklet that would look like this. Inside that booklet were half pieces of paper that covered 8 different topics. On these pages are nothing but biblical quotes and catechism quotes on the following topics: relativism, contraception, evolution, transgender, gluttony, atheism, abortion, and homosexuality. The reality is that the majority of our young people cannot stand up against the storm of these topics. We began our program by having one night, and I found 8 people in the parish who were willing to talk on these 8 topics for 3 minutes. They had 3 minutes to sell the church's teaching on these topics. 3 minutes. And we did a round robin the whole entire night. And every young person was put into a small group, and they literally went to each table, and it was really, really beautiful. We had married couples, we had single people, we had It was great. Every table was one aspect of one of these topics, and that's what kicked off the program. We then had 8 weeks of talks, and I brought in friends and neighbors and relatives and coworkers and people that I had worked in youth ministry with and young adult ministry with, and people from other parishes, and they all took one of these topics and gave a 30-minute to 45-minute presentation with Q&A. Our people were enthralled. Then to follow that up and to help the parents and godparents and grandparents, there was then a weekly bulletin article. So we started with the round robin night. We then had a week with one of these topics, also then with a bulletin article for each one of the topics so that the parents and grandparents and godparents could help out as well. I think it's a great way for us to ask the question and like really start like, hey, if I need a youth ministry program, if I need to do something for young people, I can be convicted about the truth. If I'm convicted about the truth, then I have a great way to bring that to these young people who desperately need it. Never underestimate the power, the intellect, the ability, the heart, the generosity of young people. Never underestimate it. Realize it's untapped and it's a gift that God wants to share with the world. I hope that these thoughts were helpful to you, and I hope that they help you to be a mentor or a disciple, to look at a young person and say, God has a plan for you. God's preparing you for something. God wants you to be a saint, and I want to help you get to that level in your life. I want to walk with you, and I'm willing to do that. Through God's grace, may it be so.